everybody, and welcome back to Coach Quip. I'm Coach Chris.
I'm Coach Robyn.
This is episode 185. Today we are talking about running for weight loss. All right, so many people turn to running for weight loss, but is it really the most effective way to lose weight?
I think a lot of people think that it is.
Yeah.
A lot.
And it kind of depends on how you do it. So in this episode, we're going to talk about how running the way that most people do it is not actually the most effective way to lose weight. And we're going to tell you about what you should actually do if you want running to be a part of your weight loss journey instead to make it more effective.
It's like Mythbusters.
Yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Number one, running is not a one-for-one caloric burn. Let's repeat that one. Right? Because people see what is going on either on their watches or on the treadmill and they're like, boom, gonna be able to eat that. I did that, right? If you burn 400 calories during a run session, it doesn't mean that you actually burn 400 calories exactly. There's no way, right? Mm-hmm. Your body is very much adaptive, right? So there's something called the constrained energy principle. If you burn a bunch of calories, your body is going to also try to retain calories later on. So it burns them more slowly throughout the rest of your day. So it might not be the fact that you burned it and created this deficit. It might be a lot less than that. So don't get too caught up in those numbers.
Yeah, and it's really tough, right? Like, because your treadmill might say something, your watch will say something else. There are YouTubers who run with like 6 different watches in a race to see how the distances add up. Every single one of these does something different. If you have a Whoop or an Oura Ring, they all say different things. So it can be really confusing. A lot of people actually say that they gain weight during marathon training.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Because when we run longer, I think that it becomes easier mentally for us to grab the extra slice of pizza or overcompensate for it, like nutritionally, because we burn so many calories. And oftentimes we go towards unhealthy foods as sort of rewards, so that's kind of part of it. But we can overcompensate as our fueling demands go up.
And it's not necessarily people that gain weight during marathon training. It isn't necessarily a bad thing either. Like, they might be taking in more carbs and retaining more water, right? But if the goal is for weight loss, just because you're training for marathon doesn't mean you're going to have weight loss as a byproduct because of that.
Okay, so is running effective for weight loss? Yes and no, depending on how you do it.
You guys saw that, right? Depending, we knew it.
Depending. So if you're running for weight loss only, then the answer is no. There's a limit to what your body can handle. We know that your cardiopulmonary system adapts faster than your musculoskeletal system, which we've talked about in past episodes. And the pounding on your body is so much with running. So the risk sort of outweighs the reward if you're just exclusively using running and cardio to try to lose weight. Because adding more doesn't necessarily make it better.
Yeah.
And I think humans have this idea of like, oh, there's a gas pedal. If I press down, I'll go faster, right? If I run more, I'll run better. Or if I run more, I will lose more weight. And that's not exactly how it works. Science actually says that to lose weight just running alone, you would have to run between 60 and 90 minutes a day.
That is not that good. We have 30-minute strength classes here that I feel like would do a lot more than that.
Yeah,
we'll get into that. But yeah, but just 60 to 90 minutes a day, who has that?
Right. Running alone is not the most effective way to use running to lose weight.
Running workouts, like speed and tempo, you might imagine, are great for caloric burn. This is why places like Shred are really popular, right? Or even like Barry's. We know that when you run fast, you're burning more calories. You have a higher heart rate. You're using more oxygen. We see high-rate athletes using these absolutely frequently, right? Whether it's in a training cycle or on their own. They also are going to recruit more caloric burn. But alone, they're not going to lead to significant weight change, nor can you be doing these every single day, right?
Yeah.
There is a limit to how many of these you can do before your body is like, we're done here.
Yeah, and you would find that limit pretty quickly if you tried to exclusively lose weight just doing these.
Oh, you'd blow up.
you would definitely blow up. So how can we improve running for weight loss? We pair it with changes to our diet. So probably saw that one coming. We've talked about how, like they say, abs are made in the kitchen, right? We know that you need to have these nutritional changes in most cases in order to see weight loss. It's more effective to pair running with a change in nutrition than running alone in terms of weight loss. And it's easier to, this is what I think, it's easier to avoid eating 400 calories than it is to burn 400 calories.
I think people fear the avoiding though more.
Yeah, right. Because I think
they anticipate the loss.
Exactly. But what we see is that it doesn't have to be like, oh, I'm not eating this food anymore. It's just managing portion sizes for a lot of our athletes and eating a little bit healthier. So maybe that means not necessarily taking anything away, but adding in more healthy options.
Yeah. And I would add as well, making sure protein is in there in a healthy dose too, because I think that's something that runners are historically terrible at, especially our runners that go run. All right, another way to make this better, you guys saw this coming, but it's strength training, right? So when we run, we burn fuel. That fuel can be muscle or fat, so we need strength training. Science shows that strength training can help us burn more calories and change our actual body composition, which is what most people really want, right? When they say that they want to lose weight, they are really probably just wanting a little bit more muscle on their frame, right? Looking stronger instead of thinner, right? It also makes you upside a better runner, right? If you have more muscle on your frame, you are going to move about life at all different speeds better. And paired with the nutrition, it is better than running. So strength training plus nutrition changes people's body comp more, if you want to think of that like losing weight, great, than running and nutrition, right? Over and over, we have done body comp challenges that prove this, that if people have 2 to 3 times a week doing 30 to 45 minute classes, they are able to shift their body fat and build muscle in 4 to 6 weeks. It's crazy. It's not taking a lot of change, right? Well, they of course are focusing on nutrition as well, but more and more our challenges involve not perfect nutrition either. It's just getting your pillars right.
Right. Yeah. So that one's huge, and I just want to underscore that, right? So running alone is the least effective way to use running as weight loss. Running plus nutrition is a little bit better, but even better than that would just be no running at all. Strength training and nutrition is better than running and nutrition. So what is the best way and the most effective way to use running to lose weight? It's a combination of all three.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah.
Shocker,
what
right?
do you know? Variety. It all helps.
So running paired with better nutrition and strength is the most effective way to use running for weight loss. And you can do this by setting an actual schedule so it doesn't feel overwhelming. I know our runners who love running and who think that this is the best way to lose weight, you know, they really struggle to drop a session and incorporate the strength training. So what I would say is for new runners who are coming in and wanted to try to find some weight loss through running, you know, thinking about 2 to 3 days a week of running and then adding in 1 to 2 strength sessions, or I would actually say 2 to 3 strength sessions a week, is going to really jumpstart your results. For our experienced runners who are already running 5 to 6 days a week, you are going to see benefits by dropping a run and adding in strength training.
It cannot be said enough as well, though, through all of these, we have to just manage our diet. You can't just eat whatever you want. My coach always said you can't you can't build a body on potato chips. As much as I want, that is not actually a food group. So making sure that you have proper amounts of carbs, proteins, fruit and veggies going in, you know, especially before and after these sessions, is really going to be the lever that seals the deal.
And I'll just say it because I like to say it. You can't eat like an asshole.
I knew it was coming.
And then, you know, this is the combination that's going to help you see results. And then eventually, because our bodies are adaptive, as you mentioned earlier, you may hit a plateau, and that's when we need to re-examine the diet again and look at our schedule overall, see what sort of tweaks we can make.
So 2 words of caution here. These are big ones. Maybe we should have started with these. One is gaining weight back. So people who reach their goals, a lot of times, like weight goals, especially if you're like hyper fixated on it, we're not telling you to be, but you are going to maybe stop doing the things that you were doing to get you to where you wanted to be and gain your weight back, right? Like that can happen. So just be mindful of those habits as you stack them. And when they're always stacked and working, just keep them stacked, right? Because there's going to be most likely a negative effect when you take one of those away.
Yeah, and this is why our challenges that we have here at Edge focus on that habit building and habit creation rather than trying to get quick results, because we want to make sure this is sustainable for our athletes. The second word of caution is that losing weight can be addictive. You know, we see these super lean runners who are in peak condition when they're at their races that we're watching. But even those runners gain weight back in the off season. They cannot maintain that sort of peak conditioning. It's just not healthy. And I think that running can be addictive for weight loss, or weight loss can be addictive for running, because it does make people a slightly faster runner sometimes to a point, and we're always chasing those results. So just make sure that you have a healthy relationship with both your running and your nutritional habits, so that you can stay healthy.
So if you're looking for accountability and strength, maybe you don't know what you're doing, right? Join one of our classes. We have them all listed out at edgeathlete.me/classes. And I will promise you, it'll be a welcoming environment that has plenty of adaptations. And we are very, very well versed in managing all levels of fitness in the strength room.
If you want guidance on a running schedule, or you want some great people to run with, check out our Run Club. We just did an episode about our new scaled pricing on Run Club, so you can check that out.
And if you're looking for help organizing nutrition, you don't know how to do like training nutrition or everyday nutrition, we've got Coach Javro on staff as well that offers those services, and she is rock star real life stuff. And if you're wrapping up all this and thinking it me, or if you have a cardio whore in your life, send this episode to them. See you next time.
Thanks for listening to Coach Quip. Original music performed by Ment. Follow us online on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Edge Athlete Lounge. Our podcast lives in the blog section of our website. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this podcast, and you can check out the show notes for additional ways to contact us. Ready, set, onward we go.